Hello everybody, I'm going to present here the new superShiny 1.1.12. This superShiny has as main new feature a different way of loading your input data and also of writing it. The idea is that you save a lot of time by selecting a directory that is your working directory where the file comes from and where you will save the result file as well. So if you look here at the new read input tab, we'll see that you have now three options of doing this. Here is what I've called old school, is the old school way of doing it, which is selecting a file, navigating through your file system, and so that's the way you've done it before. And then in the end, you'll have to do the same again when you save the file, possibly clicking through many directories. So this is what we really want to avoid, but I've left it in so you can. So this is a sort of a fallback option if the other ones don't work. Sort of one grade up from this is selecting a local directory. So this will not work, for me at least, for mounted disks like the store, where you have the store disk where you have all your data. So for me that won't work with this one. But if you have a local directory, you may still save a lot of time by selecting a directory. For example, you need to sort of navigate by clicking onto these triangles. So here we are in a project, and then select, for example, intermediates. And then if there are some XLL files, if there are any files in there, you can then you may want to select this. And then here in the select input file select box, you will be presented with all the XLSX files. So only Excel files will be shown, no other files. And you can choose whatever you like from here, and then start with load. And then you're sort of back on track from sort of, then you can carry on looking at internal standards and so on. So this is sort of an improvement on the old way, in my view at least, because now you can also write to this directory in the end. It will remember where you've loaded your file from. Whereas with the old school, the way this is set up, this is nothing I can do about. It cannot possibly remember where you got the file from. Yeah. So so here all the information is lost. Here, at least you remember where you got it from. And then here's the third way, which is something that I've set up specifically for the situation that you have most of the time, that you've saved your data on the metabolomics group server under projects and so on. So this directory structure is assumed to exist and also to be mounted at the moment. So if we do this, then you will see, first of all the researchers that are at the Institute. So here we have Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll, the two new researchers at the MPI. Patrick suggested I don't use real names, so here we'll have to live with these people. So you can select either of them. Let's say we try Dr. Jekyll, and he has, in fact, two people working for him, Jones and Smith. And it already tells me here that Smith doesn't actually have any projects yet, oh no, Jones doesn't have any, but Smith does. So, and then if sort of the right kind of, if the project directory is there and the directory intermediates is there, and there's some XLSX files in intermediates, then this whole thing will unfold. Will let you allow to select one of these here, and then you can finally press upload. So this represents the file structure that Patrick has set up and that you're using most of the time, I hope, or on the metabolomics server, the file server. And if you stick to the right structure, then these projects will appear in here in Shiny. A lot of the stuff is hard coded, so you can't change. You've got to call it intermediates. If you don't call it intermediates, it won't be here. It's got to be an Excel file, and it's got to be sort of the hierarchy of the directories has to be exactly like well, the ones that exist. If you copy the structure that exists, then it will work. Okay, so now we say upload. And okay, so this is sort of the root of my my test database here on my desktop, and then it goes to sort of Jekyll, Smith, then the project that you selected, intermediates, and then the file that you selected here. Yeah, so that's how it works. And the good thing is it will remember this directory. This directory is now your directory, your project directory. And if you now carry on with processing, it doesn't really matter what exactly you do here. So the middle bit of the Shiny hasn't been changed, or hasn't been changed much. Not that I remember. So let's just assume that this will all work. And then you arrive at output. And then again, you see something that's a bit different to before. So now you essentially are already in this directory. And then you just give it a name. I don't know, new file. And then you press download the results file. Bob. And it sort of says here in this structure in the intermediates at the moment, this could be changed to results or something else. We've written new file, XLS, and whatever the size is. And the same it will do with all plots, and so on, and the SuperLight input. So this will always, you don't have to select, so this is the great thing here, that you don't actually have to select this directory again, and especially if you first save this and that, you don't have to save the directory again, or navigate towards it. And well, I hope it works for you on your computer. It's working for me from home with VPN. It's slow. That's why I'm taking special care that the writing and so on is done cleverly. And so the slowness of the connection should be less of an issue if you use this version of Shiny.